just a great rivalry game. Had we lost the game, I would come in here and sung UAB's praises. So let me start off by singing UAB's praises. I am glad that I don't have to play against Chris Coakley ever again. He is a real man in there. He played terrifically, and much of what we try to do is to stop him, and it was difficult. He stepped up, obviously, in a big way. Sometimes you could, from a personnel standpoint, you could really point to this and go, God, we're not going to get this done because we're down to 8, and Bryce kind of gets dinged up, and neither one of the 5 men could score much inside, and Deshaun's giving away so much size to William Lee, and Mustafa is such a stabilizing force for us, and so many guys had to step up to be able to get this win. The key was the battle of the boards. Their plus 12 rebound margin, and we out-rebounded them. And a key stat was 21 defensive rebounds for Auburn, 9 offensive rebounds for UAB. They get more than half, and they didn't get them tonight. And Anthony with 7, and Malik with 4, and Deshaun with 3. So we did a great job on the boards. I think the last 4 times we've played them, the margin's been like 6 total, something crazy like that. It's just a great basketball game, and fans here in the state, get treated by it. I said this at Birmingham last year on that Saturday. Go anywhere in college basketball on that particular day, that was as good an environment a year ago. It's a really good environment today, and so we're very pleased to be heading into finals where we're at right now.
The job Malik Dunbar did, especially down the stretch, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 putbacks.
Huge, and a big defensive rebound late. So Tuesday night, Tuesday after practice, we're sitting around, we're shooting free throws, and I had called Malik over, and I had the coaches come with us. We had a little powwow. Malik had been averaging 10 minutes a game, not playing at all the role that he came here to play, and I sort of wanted to explain to him that the guys really carve out their roles. They truly do. And unfortunately, the role he had been carved out was behind Mustafa and behind Bryce and 2 pretty good players. And so the question was, okay, what are we going to do at this point? What are we going to do at this point? There's really only 2 options. 1, I can't say publicly, and 2 is to stay right and ready. And Malik has been a good leader for us. He's been a good teammate, and obviously he stayed ready. And I told him, I said, I promise you, you're going to win or lose this a basketball game. He said, Coach, there's no way, And of course, 5 minutes into the Gardner-Webb game, Mustafa gets hurt. And so that's what the chemistry is all about. That's what teams are made of. When Pat Kime got his scholarship, D'Angelo had tweeted out something about how important Pat was to him since he's been here in his ministry and his support. D'Angelo going through all that he's going through takes the time to recognize a teammate for his contribution, when so often it could be all about me. So, again, I'm really happy with Malik, and so is the team. It builds that trust that you can count on somebody.
Can you talk about the performance of Jared down the stretch?
I think both Jared from the beginning and the end. Point guards should have the ball in their hands at the beginning of the possession, at the end of possession, at the beginning of a game, and at the end of a game. Jared came out, obviously, and knew that his roommate and his friend Mustafa was not available. And he was determined to come out and do what he did. And then he picked up a couple fouls. And then late in the game, I thought his ability to get to the foul line and also get downhill. UAB didn't have anybody that could stay in front of him. And having Bryce and him and Davey on the floor at the same time made it a little bit of a tougher matchup. But Jared, clearly you could tell the difference between perhaps a freshman and a sophomore in how he played.
Any concern the last 10 minutes or so, Bruce, when the game was a 15-point game in the first half, you really had control on the final 10 minutes because it was a 2-score game the whole way. Any concern of just durability or depth beginning to be an issue?
I thought they made plays. Clear, we were fortunate to not get into foul trouble. We still had 22 fouls called, but 4s and 3s and we were able to manage through it. Foul trouble could have been an issue for us. I think more of it had to do with them. I really think more of the second half had to do with them. Their zone bothered us a little bit. Thought we had some empty possessions. And we put them to the foul line. They shot 28 free throws. And we put them in the line too much because we had a hard time guarding them. But I don't think depth. We were able to rotate 8, and you look at the stat sheet. Everybody played. Everybody contributed.
Bruce, you've said all year long that your size issue is going to be a ton of problem when you enter conference play, especially on the glass. But Rob just came in here and said the best thing they do is hit the offensive glass. Does your concern maybe get eased on a night like this where they're not exactly small and you're able to get 14 offensive boards?
Well, yeah, 14 offensive rebounds. Our 5-man, obviously Anthony had some big ones. Malik had some big ones. But I'd go back to the defensive end. Go back to one of the reasons why we're rebounding better is one of the strengths of our 4-man, Chuma Kiki and Deshaun Murray, is checking out and rebounding. We're rebounding stronger out of that position. Horace and Anthony, a year older. Our guards, a year older. We spent a lot of time working on perimeter checkouts. So, rebounding obviously was a huge factor.
Bryce only had 6 Wednesday night, 6 points Wednesday night. Had a huge start tonight. And how important was it for him to get rolling after such a bad game?
It was interesting. I actually didn't know that's all he had. Is that right? He had 6 points. I knew he struggled. I knew his percentage was like 2 for 12 or something like that. But I'll tell you how quickly I was shifted gears to UAB. I didn't even know the stat sheet enough to break. My leading scorer had 6. So after I get done with everything, I'm one of the last ones to leave the building, and I'm walking upstairs, and who's in the practice gym but Bryce Brown? Like right after the game. And I think the thing for Bryce is this. Look at a stat sheet. When you're just a shooter, it's easy to come off things and just shoot. You know what your role is. Bryce is trying to be more of a player. And so the fact that he only had 1 turnover, trying to play make, get in the foul line, working on his mid-range game, still playing, Bill Blink, one of the best defensive guards we have. Bryce Brown's playing really good basketball, not just shooting the ball, but yet he's got to still know where his bread's buttered. We need him to make shots. And he certainly stepped up. And we worked on how we thought UAB would guard those pin downs, and he came off aggressive.
Any indication as to Gustavo? I know you have a week to play him, but any indication as to how long?
He was extremely tight the first 2 days, and today was his best day. But I've talked to anybody that's had a bad back in here. You're not sure why it stays cramped for as long as it does, and sometimes you're not sure why all of a sudden you wake up the next day and it's gone. He's not ready to play right now. He's just not. So it has calmed down. It's calmed down. So hopefully it'll continue to stay calm and relax. Those spasms will relax. We got him. His skeletal is in the right shape. He's got no issues as far as that's concerned, which will help those muscles those spasms calm down.
Bruce, what would you say you've learned about this team, given that it hasn't been full strength the whole year? Like if we would have said, back in August or July, you would only have 1 loss at this point.
I just would think that it would speak to our character, speak to our discipline, speak to our trust in each other, just trusting others. Do your job. You don't have to have an S on your chest, but you better represent that AU on your uniform. And I think that's what the guys are doing.